सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शांति शांति शांति। Namaste. Welcome to Journey of Healing. This is our first show, and it is indeed a blessing and honor to have Dr. Deepak Chopra as our first guest. He's written 75 books, and he's a pioneer in mind-body health. He's been instrumental in teaching and sharing timeless wisdom of Ayurveda, meditation, yoga as healing tools. I have followed Dr. Chopra for over 3 decades, and it has been a privilege to work with him over the past decade. Dr. Chopra, thank you.
Thank you
very much for coming to the show.
Thank you, Nanda.
We are all on a journey of healing, returning to wholeness, and this is a process. Is it different for each individual, or are we on the same path to wholeness? Could you please share your view?
We are all on the same path, but we might be in different stages of the journey. You could think of being on the same elevator, and some people are getting on the 10th floor, some on the basement, some on the 99th floor, and the elevator's on a journey for a long time in the direction of enlightenment. Some people are in a very stressful environment and are experiencing a lot of stress. Some people have illness. Some are already well, but want more energy, want more experience of healthy emotions, and some are on a spiritual journey. But they're all different stages on the same path.
The word karma has been widely used. People often say it's my good karma, bad karma. And if we look at the holy texts, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, where karma is well explained, do you feel that karma plays a role in the path of healing and returning to wholeness?
My interpretation of karma is that it is the repetitive patterns of the conditioned mind. So the mind is conditioned by so many things, by parents, by culture, by religion, by economics, by history. As soon as a child is born, it is put into a conditioning process. That conditioning process creates memories and then behaviors that reinforce the conditioning. So, of course, then if the conditioning is in the direction of wholeness, it's interpreted as good karma. If the conditioning is in the direction of separation, it's interpreted as not so good karma. I don't like to think of it that way. I think all karma is binding, whether it's good karma or bad karma. It still gives you very little freedom of choice. You're like a bundle of conditioned reflexes and nerves that are constantly being triggered by people, circumstances, events, and the conditions of your environment. So the goal of all spiritual seeking should be to be totally independent of karma, good or bad, because they're both binding. Okay, so how can you experience everything in the moment and let it go? Because what imprisons you is holding on to experience, which is always in time. This experience is in time, it will be over in 10 minutes, we can't hold on to this. What happened yesterday is over, you can't hold on to this. What's happening tomorrow, you don't know, so you can't hold on to this. So karma is actually being imprisoned by your imagination. If you're totally in this moment, there is no karma, because every experience is the uprising of sensations, images, feelings and thoughts. And they have a lifespan, whether it's in minutes or hours or days. If you can be in a mode of awareness where your internal reference point is not the experience, but that in which the experience occurs. So what is that in which the experience occurs? That's already free. It's awareness. And awareness or consciousness is that in which experience occurs, in which experience arises, in which experience is known, and into which experience subsides. If you can cultivate this shift of your internal reference point from the conditioned mind, which is bound by experience, to the unconditioned mind, which is independent of experience, then there is no karma.
You have been talking a lot about meditation, and it's a very powerful transformative technique. By practicing meditation, does it cancel out our bad karma?
Meditation allows you to go into the state of pure awareness or pure consciousness. So every time you have that experience, then there is a little bit of washing off of the need to be dependent on experience. We need to simplify this whole language of karma. It's too complicated. It's too bound up with religion, interpretation of old, repetitive. In fact, the more we repeat the definitions of karma from the scriptures, the more karma we reinforce. I think what people need to know is that right this moment, if they could shift into not the experience, but who or what is having the experience, you would be free. Freedom is now.
And you mentioned religion. So comment on, spiritual beings. We are human beings, but really having spiritual experiences, and religion and religious practices.
It's the other way around. We're spiritual beings having a human experience, not human beings having a spiritual experience. Religion is usually associated with rules, regulations, institutions, dogma, belief. All that, in my view, is imprisoning. All the religions have done good also through social work, through humanitarian efforts, through charity. But I think we're moving into an age where people don't want to be bound by rules, regulations, and commandments. They want to have their own experience of their true self. And that is where spirituality comes in. Spirituality can best be defined as a journey into a state of awareness where we share our universality, where we experience eternal values like truth, goodness, beauty, harmony, evolution, love, compassion, joy, equanimity, peace, loss of the fear of death, transcendence. For that, I don't think you need religion.
And what are some steps we individually or collectively can take as a community to bring about more peace? I mean, we hear so much chaos, crisis.
I think the best way to change, transform society is to transform yourself through spiritual practice. You can participate in any form of what is called yoga. So the yoga of meditation, even the asanas and pranayam, the practices known as dhyan, dharana, samadhi, which we teach here at the Chopra Center. These are all referred to as Raj Yoga, and then there's yoga of love and compassion and relationship. There's yoga of self-knowledge, self-awareness, and deeper understanding of the relationship between your physical body, your subtle body, and your causal body. And then, of course, there's the yoga that we call karma yoga, which is to perform action and detach from the results. All these are practices known as yoga, because the word yoga is related to the word yuj, which is related to the word yoke, which means connecting with yourself. So personal transformation is very necessary. There's no social transformation in the absence of personal transformation. I think beyond that, there is the need to create communities of well-being through what is called seva, which means service, satsang, which means gathering together for spiritual practice, and simran, which is paying attention to remembering who you really are, the spiritual being. So again, practice. Those are the ways you create healthy communities.
Thank you very much, Dr. Chopra, for joining us,
Sure.
and hoping to continue more conversations
Yes,
in future.
absolutely.
In your new book, The Super Genes, you talk about the constructing pyramid using the six. We talked about the diet, the sleep, emotions, stress, and exercise. And when we are talking or thinking about people who come to the addiction center, this is so important for them to pay attention.
Yes, I think at the addiction center, the goal should be to increase the activity of the genes that are responsible for self-regulation, decrease the activity of the genes which are responsible for inflammation. That also means changing epigenetics through experience, and also the microbiome through experience, but particularly through diet. And all the practices like yoga, pranayama, exercise, massage, meditation, healthy emotions, they all will be very powerful once we understand the mechanisms by which you can shift biology.
The center has been operational now for a while, and we have seen hundreds of guests come through and really do transformation and healing. And this is through the therapeutic walk, and of course a lot has been through your teachings that we have brought out to the center. And are you able to just elaborate a little bit on that?
I think the addiction center is patterned after some of the processes that we do here, including the primordial sound meditation and all the other things we practice at the Perfect Health program. And I think this is a much more effective way than just counseling or reinforcing the idea that you're an addict forever. So you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti